Hi, class. This is Brother Crawford. Just wanted to put together a video this week to just say thank you for the wonderful first 3 weeks of this semester, and the wonderful thoughts and things that are being shared. I know I'm learning a lot from you, and I'm just grateful. I just wanted to you be able to see me, making me maybe make this a little bit more personal, but also to take an opportunity to give you a little bit of feedback. Because many of you are doing just such a wonderful job in following the instructions and that kind of stuff. But I want to maybe give a little bit of feedback that can help you a little bit more in this course, um, get more points, get a better grade, maybe do some things that can help a little bit. If you're like me, um, you're busy. I know you're busy, and so when we're busy and those kind of things, we try to just do what we need to do to get by at times. And so I want to help you to do maybe give you some pointers on some things that can help you as you go throughout this course to get the most points possible, to get the highest grade possible, but also to have a great experience in learning things that this gospel or that this course, Jesus Christ and the Everlasting Gospel, can really provide in your life. Um, One of the areas that I wanted to talk about today and just kind of show you and walk you through is our in-class discussion boards, the in-class sharing boards. Because I'm seeing a lot of really good things, but I'm also seeing some things that can be maybe cleaned up a little bit and tightened up. So I'm gonna kind of show you my computer here and my computer screen here and walk you through some things that I'm seeing. So I'm just gonna go down to the bottom corner here, and here is the opening page to the course. I'm teaching two classes this semester, same class, same course, just different sections. So if you see section different up here than the one you're in, don't worry, it's exactly the same for all my classes. And this way, I only have to make one video instead of two. But everything's exactly the same, and it will help you. And I'm seeing the same issues in both classes. Um, so I'm looking at this as a student here. I'm seeing exactly what you see when you go into the course. Um, so to start my week, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to go into my content button and go there, and I'm going to see everything here that's done. Well, we're in week 4 here, so I'm going to go to week 4. To start my week 4, I'm going to look at this, right? If I have any questions or want any conversations to happen or anything, I can click here and create a different discussion board. But I'm going to go into my preparation here, and that's where I'm going to start the week here. And I'm going to read through the introduction of the lesson. Here's my reading and writing assignment, the template, and the kind of the instructions here. Which for the most part, I'm seeing really good things with the reading and writing assignments. The in-class preparation, sharing preparation right here. I want to kind of walk through this and just talk with you about some things, how I would do things. And I hope maybe to start modeling this a little bit more. I haven't had the opportunity to be really involved in the discussion boards at this point, but I want to start getting in there, and I've set some goals to spend some more time on there. But I just kind of want to walk through what I would do if I was a student in this class as I'm going through preparing to do this in-class sharing preparation. So let's just read through this, and here's what I would do. I would go through and start reading. All right, in this lesson, we study the positive examples of those who receive Christ, follow his prophets, Enoch, and establish Zion, as well as those who do the opposite. We can learn a lot from those that do the opposite. And how to not do those things in our lives. Opposites can often serve as foils to what we should be seeing and doing, as well as to what we should be avoiding. So to start this, I'm going to go in and I'm going to read the reading assignment for the in-class sharing preparation, Moses 5, verses 1 through 41. Okay, and then I'm going to start my post. And here's what I'm going to do. I would go to my post here and go to the discussion board, but I'm going to go through and really read these instructions. Because if you're like me, you get busy and you just kind of skim over things and you think, okay, I can just get this done quickly. But that's not what I'm looking for in this class. I'm looking for these instructions to be followed. This is a college level course, and BYU Idaho expects these instructions to be followed and to really be looked at. And I've been pretty lenient in the past 2 or 3 weeks on grading these. But I'm going to start deducting some points here, some more points than what I have been for some of you, if I don't start seeing these things, because I think it's important that we follow this and do this the right way. So I'm going to start my post. My post. This is my initial post. Each week I'm going to have more than one post, but each week by due date number 1, which is Tuesday night at 11 o'clock. Which this is coming out a little bit late, so it would have been last night at 11 o'clock for me. Before that due date, I'm going to create my first initial post. Okay, and I'm going to create the post in the in-class sharing discussion board, and I'm going to share 2 specific answers to the following question. And make sure, this is really, really important. This is where I'm seeing a lot of things missed. Make sure you support your answers with scriptural references and or teachings of Latter-day Prophets. I'm seeing a lot of people go in and on their initial post, and they're posting, they're answering a question, and there's no scriptural support or prophetic quotes or anything to help make that point. One of the reasons why this is so important is because there's great power in using the scriptures and the prophets as we answer questions and as we look at things. A lot of people don't really care a whole lot about Brother Crawford's opinion in this life. But when I can back up an answer that I'm giving with a scripture or with a prophetic quote, there's greater power in that. And there's greater influence in those answers. So we're looking for that. I'm looking for that. I'm going to really start looking, are you supporting your answer that you give with scriptural references and or teachings of the Latter-day Prophets? If I don't see that, I will start deducting points. And here's the question that I'm going to use. I'm going to answer 2. Okay, and I want you to note here that I'm going to label my responses answer 1 and answer 2. So answer 1, I would go in and I would say, what does the negative example of Cain do to provide light concerning the gospel plan, and how does it help you better understand and appreciate the gospel and what we should believe and do? I would find in my reading here, or in quotes from prophets, or the reading for the week, the initial week, is there anything that I can use, an example supported by scriptural references and or teachings of the Latter-day Prophets to answer that question? I'm going to find one answer. I'm going to label it answer 1. I'm going to answer number 2. I'm going to label it answer number 2 and have 2 answers. So that initial post, there'll be 2 answers this week. Along with that initial post, and I'm not seeing this as much as I need to be seeing it, along with this, you are also required to post one question that you would like others to respond to from this week's study of Zion or Babylon. It may be the same as one you post for your writing assignment or a different question, but every initial post I should see should have the requirement here, and this is true every week. Every week, number 3 is required. You are required to pose a question, and I will deduct points if I don't see a question in your initial post. So I should be seeing that in your initial post. So every week there should be a first initial post from every student in the discussion board. So I'm going to finish that. I'm going to be done with my initial post, and then before due date number, then I'm going to go back up to my content, and if I can get the internet to go faster here, and I'm going to go to my in-class sharing here, and then I'm going to have some more in-class sharing instructions. These in-class sharing instructions are going to go more initial, or getting a little more in depth. Initial thread 1 is the one we just went over. Okay, but there's a response post that I need to do, a step 2 in this process to get full points each week for this, and that's due by the due date number 2, which is typically Friday nights at 11 o'clock Idaho time. Okay, and so here's what I'm going to do in response to in my response post, or step number 2. First, I'm going to read the initial post of all the students in my group. So every student that's posted, I'm going to go in and I am going to read their post. I'm going to take one comment, one of the classmates' post, answering the question about Cain. So I'm going to look at their initial post, and I'm going to select one who doesn't have a response, or one that has minimal responses, and I'm going to respond using these questions. What did you learn from reading their post? How does their insight add to what you have already learned, and what additional insight can you offer? So I'm going to respond there, and I'm going to title that post Response. Okay, and that's where it says down here, specify whether you're giving a response to their post or answering a question. That way I can see when I'm grading, I can go in and say, okay, look, they've got a response and they've got an answer. So make sure that you label that post. When it comes up, there will be a title screen that will have the title of the original post in it that you can change to response or to answering a question. So I would go in here and I would have a post. I would respond to theirs in their post, answering these questions for them. Okay, then I'm going to go to back to them, and I'm going to find another student. Maybe you choose one that has very few responses or no responses, and I'm going to answer. I'm going to then create another response that says answer as my post title, and I'm going to answer their question. This requires you to do some additional research. Along with your answer to their question, include scriptural reference and prophetic teachings. If I see something that says an answer to question and it is your opinion, or there's no scriptural reference or prophetic teachings, I will deduct points. And then be sure to reference and cite and explain your answer. Okay, so I hope that's pretty clear that what I'm looking for. I'm looking for answers that are well thought out. Down here in the grading spot here, and it says this every week, your grade for this assignment will be based on your quality of writing and depth of study, as well as you completing all the above requirements. This assignment is worth about 1/3 of your weekly grade. So I'm looking for quality of writing and depth of study. If there's just kind of a rattled off one sentence answer, that's not enough quality or depth of study for me, and I'll deduct points for that. So I hope that kind of makes sense what I'm looking for with that. This is the biggest thing I'm seeing right now. Some of you are doing a wonderful job at this. Others can really clean this up and tighten this up. So I hope this helps. Again, you're wonderful. I'm learning a ton from you. I feel the Spirit as I read through posts and assignments, and just love getting to know you. And love that you are so willing to reach out to me and to ask questions through email. I'm available as much as I possibly can be. But please follow these instructions and do the best that you can to really dig in and follow the instructions for everything that we're doing here. But this in-class sharing instructions is very important, and this can really make or break this semester for you and learning things. It's awesome to be able to go in and research questions that people have. Some people have questions that I've never even thought of, and then I get to go research it and look at it, and it's great. So as you do this, you'll be blessed. I know that it will be an amazing experience for you. Thank you for being wonderful, and don't ever hesitate to reach out to me if you need something. You're wonderful. Have a great week.